Life doesn't pause when you're sick. Vaccines against respiratory illnesses can help protect you and give you more playtime with your best friend. Depending on age and health status, vaccinations for flu, COVID-19, RSV, or pneumococcal infection may be recommended. Vaccines can help keep you from having a rough time. Learn more at cveep.org/vaccines-protect. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and CVEEP, fighting infectious respiratory disease.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
You're listening to Make It, the indie film podcast.
Welcome to Summaries. Let's dive in. I'm Alex Ivey.
And I'm Allison Inverness.
Today we're taking a deep dive into some material from the Make It podcast. This really unique creative force, Frances Lebar.
What's so amazing about Frances is the blend of worlds she comes from. She's a huge production designer and art director with these massive credits.
Oh yeah, we're talking Spider-Man No Way Home.
But her path there was, anything but traditional. She started out as a professional athlete, a creative polymath.
It's an incredible trajectory. And right now she's working on the new Star Wars series, Ahsoka.
The one starring Rosario Dawson.
That's the one. And you just know the NDAs around a project like that are intense. The level of secrecy tells you everything you need to know about the caliber of work she's doing.
So the big question for us today, and really the mission for you, the listener, is this. How does a background in high-stakes competitive sports, specifically basketball, prepare someone for the equally high-pressure, super collaborative world of massive film production?
You're looking for that thematic glue.
Exactly. The thing that connects the court to the film set.
And that glue really starts with her personal philosophy. It was kind of forged at this specific point in her life right after college.
She's trying to figure it all out, right?
Totally. And she found the Holstein Manifesto.
Oh, I remember that piece, that text-based art that got really popular. It's not just some cheesy quote.
No, it's not. It's more of a detailed guide to living. It says things like, if you don't love it, stop doing it, and life is short, live your dream, and share your passion.
For her, that must have been a huge contrast to the stuff she grew up seeing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. She mentioned those generic, home sweet home wooden plaques in North Carolina. This was different. She actually keeps a framed copy nearby.
So it was a real turning point.
It was the moment she gave herself permission to follow that harder, non-linear path.
And speaking of non-linear, getting into Hollywood, getting that Star Wars gig, that didn't happen through film school.
Not at all. It was pure networking, timing, and just connection. She'd wanted to work in fantasy and sci-fi her whole life, put that desire out there, and when the chance came, she was ready.
But before those huge studio jobs, she was cutting her teeth in music videos.
Right, in that rapid-fire LA music video scene. And we have to talk about the Mira Massa video for Love, featuring Cher. It's such a perfect example of production design as storytelling.
What's so special about it?
Well, the biggest thing is the technical constraint. The whole thing was a single take.
A one-shot production.
Exactly. So if the camera messes up, an actor trips, a set looks wrong, you have to start all over. The whole shoot is ruined.
So her job was absolutely critical.
Critical. She had to find one single location, this house in the West Adams area of LA, that allowed for this totally fluid movement, but also had like 4 or 5 completely different visual looks to show the story progressing.
It's like a relay race where the environment has to help the runner.
That's a great way to put it. And she even helped design the visual metaphor of the chain in the choreography.
Right. The chain represented the relationship's tension. That's design serving the narrative in the most efficient way possible.
And you can almost trace that need to create worlds efficiently all the way back to her childhood.
She grew up in the woods of North Carolina, right?
Yeah, on a literal dead-end road called Sleepy Hollow.
Wow. Sounds picturesque, but also
Profoundly isolating. She said the Wi-Fi was terrible, there wasn't much to do, so she was just forced to use her imagination constantly.
drawing, building forts, making up her own stories.
Exactly. That isolation became the crucible for her internal creativity. Her escape, though, was the movie theater.
And her ambition was basketball.
All basketball. She played in college. And this is where we really find the deepest connection between her two careers.
There's this amazing story from 7th grade.
Yes. Her coach, she described him as this tall, intense guy with a Coach Carter complex. He hands her a VHS tape.
A VHS of The Matrix.
A VHS of The Matrix. And he tells her, I'm the one.
That's cinematic.
It is. But that moment, coming from someone outside her family, it just instilled this huge, long-lasting confidence in her. It was the genesis of her ambition.
And it connects directly to how she views leadership, which she actually models after Draymond Green in basketball.
This is such a great insight because most people, they focus on the big scorer, the star player.
But Frances says points aren't the only metric that matters.
Right. Green, and by extension her, they focus on being the heady IQ player. The one who facilitates, who communicates, who's like this strategic glue holding it all together.
It's a powerful analogy for film production.
It really is. In basketball, that player gets the assist, sets the screen, calls the defense. In the art department, you might not be the production designer with the overall vision.
But you're the art director making it happen.
You're the one delivering the plans, the documents, the communication framework that lets the vision actually exist. You're empowering the whole team to win.
Which requires some serious emotional resilience. And she had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah. Her sports career was not a straight line. She was dramatically cut from her college team her sophomore year.
That must have been devastating.
Oh, she said it caused this deep sadness. She quit basketball completely for 2 years. Became a snowboarding instructor, just trying to figure things out.
But she found her way back.
She did, through coaching overseas.
Yeah.
And that led to her playing professionally in Kuwait and Dubai. That whole experience, she said, let her finally forgive basketball.
Forgive basketball for the pain of that college experience.
Right. And then, years later, the vindication came.
Oh, the news about the coach.
Exactly. Her college coach was fired and arrested for giving athletes steroids and for abuse. Mm-hmm. And that just provided this painful clarity. It showed her that what she went through, it wasn't a personal failure, it was systemic.
And having played overseas like that, it gives her a very informed and I'm sure painful perspective on what's happening with Brittany Griner.
A very specific perspective. She points out that the WNBA just doesn't pay its stars enough. It forces them to take these vulnerable side jobs overseas in the offseason.
When you go abroad to play, you're putting an immense amount of trust in the system there.
Immense trust. In the team, the infrastructure, the foreign legal system. Frances really emphasizes the risk involved and just how unfair it is that these incredibly talented women athletes are forced into these scenarios because the American League doesn't compensate them properly.
It's a high-stakes pivot most male athletes just never have to make.
And high-stakes pivots. That brings us right back to Hollywood.
Yeah. I mean, you look at a movie like Spider-Man, No Way Home, and the credits are just endless. How do you keep it all cohesive?
It's the big question. How do you maintain a consistent visual style when you have, say, 4 different art directors managing different sets?
Thousands of people building everything.
This is where understanding the hierarchy is so important. The production designer on that film, it was Darren Guilford. They are the visionary. They set the cohesive visual language.
So the color palette, the textures, the whole tone of the film.
Everything. The production designer might say, this world feels metallic, blue, and chaotic.
And then Frances, as one of the art directors, takes that mandate and applies it to her specific set, like the coffee shop scene or something.
Precisely. The art directors divide and conquer the massive workload. But it all depends on relentless communication. Constant check-ins, sharing color samples, mock-ups, set photos, everything to ensure that visual flow.
She calls herself an imperfect perfectionist. What does that actually mean in practice?
It means she's laser-focused on where the director and the camera are spending their time and money.
So it's about efficiency.
Total efficiency. She wants to create a true 360-degree world, so every angle is covered. but she puts the money and effort on what she calls the highest percentage visual elements.
For example?
For example, making sure the sofa the lead actor sits on for a big close-up is perfectly dressed, perfectly weathered, perfectly colored, instead of agonizing over a corner of the ceiling that will never, ever be in frame.
It's about serving the story under pressure.
Exactly. And that efficiency is so vital, especially when you consider how much work can just vanish.
She's had 2 huge projects just disappear.
Which has to be the biggest heartbreak for a creative. The first was deeply personal, a short film she made in 2017.
The one based on her poetry.
Yeah, the dialogueless road trip piece about finding herself. And tragically, she made the cardinal sin of data storage.
Both hard drives in the same bag?
Both hard drives, same bag. And the bag was stolen from her car in downtown LA. Poof. Gone forever.
All that work just erased. But the second loss was maybe even bigger in terms of the scale of it.
Oh, Mouse Guard.
An animated feature she was working on with her partner, Lynn Lebar.
Right, who's a technologist now with Unity. And this film was going to be cutting edge. It used the Unreal game engine.
For people who don't know, why is that so significant for animation?
Well, it means they were using real-time rendering. So instead of waiting hours or days for a single frame to process, they can see changes instantly.
It makes the whole workflow so much faster and more iterative.
Hugely. It was a massive, expensive project. And it was 90% complete when Disney acquired Fox.
And then the restructuring.
The project was just canceled, wiped off the map by a boardroom decision, leaving the film rights in limbo.
I can't even imagine. Years of work, almost at the finish line.
It's a unique kind of professional trauma. And yet she just keeps pivoting to bigger challenges.
Like the Ahsoka series.
Which she says is the most difficult work of her career. Working with brilliant minds like Dave Filoni, moving these enormous, detailed sets. But it's also shaping up to be the most rewarding.
And all that experience really informs the advice she gives to new designers.
For sure. She laid out 3 essential, non-glamorous skills she'd teach if she only had 1 month.
Number 1, how to sell your ideas.
Yes. It's not enough to be creative. You have to master the pitch. You have to create these highly visual, clean graphic decks to get buy-in from the director, from the studio.
If you can't get buy-in, the idea is worthless.
Exactly. Number 2, surround yourself with great people.
That sounds like pure team sports strategy.
It is. It's that heady IQ player thing again. You're only as good as your team, so hire people who are smarter than you, who excel where you're weak.
And number 3,
master set documentation. This is the real nuts and bolts. Creating clean, comprehensive plans, material call-outs, paint schedules, all the details.
So that anyone on the construction team can execute the vision without having to call you at 3 a.m.
Clear communication is everything. It prevents budget and time overruns. It's all about structure, communication, collaboration.
And speaking of collaboration, her creative role model is Taika Waititi.
She deeply admires his storytelling, especially how he tells stories from a child's perspective, like in Boy or Jojo Rabbit.
And she actually got to work with him.
She did. On his new soccer comedy, Next Goal Wins. And what she learned from him was how to embrace what she calls creative chaos.
What does that mean on set?
It means Taika is constantly rewriting and improvising, trying to capture these honest, real-time moments.
Which means the art department has to be ready for anything.
Absolutely. The sets have to be truly flexible, truly 360 degrees. If a character suddenly decides to look out a window that wasn't in the plan, that window, the view, everything behind them has to be fully realized. You have to be ready to pivot instantly.
Which brings us to her most recent pivot, after finishing the intense work on Ahsoka.
She's taking a very necessary, very well-deserved break to Italy.
Rome, Florence, Cinque Terre, Venice.
And she said her main goal for the trip is simple but profound: to eat lots of spaghetti.
A perfect way to decompress.
It's about connecting to culture, taking time away from the intensity of the set.
It's just incredible. We've seen how the communication and resilience learned in high-stakes sports translates so directly into the technical skill and creative vision of production design. Her whole story is one of just relentless ambition.
And, thinking back to her stolen film, and then Mouse Guard getting canceled, it really makes you wonder.
Yeah, what's the biggest takeaway there?
I think
maybe
the true test of a creative professional isn't just the ability to make the thing. It's the ability to handle that kind of devastating loss.
To just accept it and pivot.
And instantly start making something new. And maybe even better, it suggests that resilience, that might be the ultimate creative tool.
Stay inspired, and until next time, be better, be creative, be engaged, and thank you for listening.
Hey everybody, Chris here. Before you go, if you enjoy our work and want to support what we do at Make It, please subscribe to the Make It Podcast channel on YouTube and rate and review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We have terrific tees, hoodies, hats, and more at cottonbureau.com. Just search for the Make It Podcast and our store will come right up. If you have feedback for us, email us at contact@bonsai.film. Our insider newsletter, Indie Insights, is available at www.bonsai.film/subscribe. And you can also follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and X at _MakeItPodcast. Until next time, and on behalf of the team at Make It, be better, be creative, be engaged, and thank you for listening.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.